Titan Quest 2 is in a very good spot right now. In fact, we are super spoiled to get a great update after update. All the waiting time paid off, because now we got super big news. A new mastery has dropped, Forge. That mastery has been spoiled by the devs in a blog post not too long ago. Hence, I am surprised that we get the mastery right away. I was sure we would get the mastery in January 2026 or something. Before we delve into the mastery, let's have a look at the other news that are also very important to the game. The inclusion of charms and relics. In the new update, once you collect one of those, you get this notification. This one says you can combine charms and relics of the same difficulty. That basically confirms that there will be several difficulties, similar as in Titan Quest 1. Difficulties have not been confirmed officially, but now I think that notification says it all. It'll be interesting to see how this is going to be handled in the game. The current maximum level is 45, and the total maximum level was set to be around 65. We are now in the first difficulty on the second chapter, and there will be maybe 4 or 5 chapters total in the base game. With a level 45 hero, the game feels kind of endgame-y. So I am looking forward to what the future brings and how they will cram 2 more difficulties into the game. It is safe to assume that the next difficulties will be something like epic and legendary. And you also get unique or legendary items there. So far we just got epic items, but back to the topic. If you played Titan Quest 1, you are well aware of charms and relics. Those are items that come into fragments. You can combine them to have an item that you can socket your other gear with. Relics and charms also have powerful completion effects. Often the effect is the thing that you farm for. What's the difference between charms and relics? Charms drop from certain monsters. For example, a boar can drop a boar hide. Relics, on the other hand, are much rarer and they can drop from all over the world. Monsters, treasure chests and so on. Charms are much rarer and harder to come by because they have stronger effects than relics. So far there are 20 charms and 19 relics, but the drop rate for both is not that high, especially for charms. It says where you can equip your charms and relics, you can put it in most items apart from jewelry and potions. Currently there is only one completion bonus, but I am sure the devs will follow Titan Quest 1's lead and put several completion bonuses that roll at random on the charms and relics. I am sure there will be, later in the game, strong effects that give you +1 to all passive skills and so on, possibly for a rare completion bonus, similar to the Erebus crystal of Titan Quest 1. What effects can you get with charms and relics? You can increase your damage types, increase your resistances, give items flat damages or even effects like a chance to stun. I am very happy to see that the devs decided to have charms and relics almost exactly as they were in the first game. There is, however, a difference. Now they put a restriction on them. You can use them only at level 10. As the player level increases, you get the ability to put more charms and relics on your gear. That sounds like a reasonable way to balance that game mechanic. The great thing about all this is that charms and relics give you the ability to boost your build's strengths and also make up for some weaknesses. Need your build to deal more flat vitality damage and also increase the % vitality damage? Just equip the right charms and relics. Do you use very good armor, but you lack one specific resistance? Boost just that resistance with a charm or relic. So what if you put a charm on a weapon, but you want to separate them later? In Titan Quest 1 there was a special vendor for that, and this will probably be the case for Titan Quest 2 as well. Just pay the guy some gold and he separates your stuff. The new mastery blog post mentions the god Hephaestus, so that's also a major spoiler on what's to come for the next update. The mastery called Forge is what people were asking for. I heard many voices that said it would be awesome to have some pets or summons as they are called in the game. The new mastery delivers that, but not exactly how we imagined it. We wanted to summon wolves or golem or something. Some dudes that run around and clap monsters for us, and we just lay back and watch our minions do all the dirty work. Forge Mastery has summons alright, but so far we don't have anything that runs around. There's 2 skills that create summons and they are not permanent. They have some activations. You need to pick up metal, or how the game calls it, divine cores, but I call it metal from now on. The tier 1 skill, Blade Trap, casts a stationary trap that has a limited number of activations. That means it can perform attacks on enemies only 6 times by default. It costs 5 metal to cast the trap, and you collect metal from slain enemies. There is a big number of modifiers, so you can go wild to craft some Blade Trap builds. I assume this skill will be good mostly for early game. Divine Cores, or metal, how I call it, is another currency opposed to energy. You can cast spells and abilities with energy, and at the same time you use metal for abilities of Forge Mastery. The other tier 1 ability, called Forge Call, which again has a huge number of available modifiers. This skill seems very good, also on high level builds. It is, however, only for melee builds, or builds that intend to get really close to the enemies. The tier 2 active Minefield is not so awesome. It still needs a bit of fine-tunement from the devs, or maybe it needs to be scrapped altogether. Chains can work well with many builds. You cast chains to grab the surrounding enemies and pull them towards you. This one is sure to synergize well with certain melee builds that deal area of effect damage around you. Earth Mastery with Ring of Flame come to mind, or Warfare Mastery with AoE skills like Heavy Strike or Valor. Pull everything towards you, then finish off with a Heavy Strike sounds like a good 1-2 combo build idea. Tier 2 has another summon called Sentry. It's a contraption that automatically shoots enemies for a limited number of attacks. You can tweak around how the sentry performs with its modifiers. If you are on a build that casts other skills like Call Lightning, you give your sentry the modifier Synchronized Attack. That makes the sentry activate when you cast the spell. You can also maximize the effectiveness of a summon with the modifier Masterwork to consume all metal and give the summon a lot of extra damage for it. That one is sure to work well for a build that uses the summon just as a bonus. Just put down one summon that has high damage and attack by other means. Continuing with tier 3 skills, Armor Eruption seems interesting. Blow up your armor with a cooldown. The game doesn't have that many spells that have a cooldown, so that's one that can benefit from the reduced cooldown rate effect that you get on some items. Armor Eruption's damage scales with your armor value. You find many synergies in the mastery that increase your armor value, but there are also some in Earth and Warfare mastery. Turning your armor into damage does both strengthen your defense, but also boost your damage every 6 seconds. I love this skill because now we can really build some tank classes. It also synergizes well with the chain skill. Pull everything towards you and use a few skills to blast some damage near you, with one of them being Armor Eruption. Weapon Welding is the skill of Forge Mastery, because the mastery has its emblem with a dude forging something. Unfortunately, I don't like the skill at all, but that is a good thing. The skills I hate initially turn out to be really good, and I'm almost sure that I will make a build out of this at some point. The use of this skill remains a mystery to me. You channel and strengthen your weapon, only to then hit hard. Maybe it is insane with a crit build that channels its weapon, then activates all damage buffs, then pulls the enemies towards you to hit for literally 1,000,000 damage. Ironclad is a nice movement spell of the mastery that boosts your move speed significantly and also boosts your armor and secondary resistances. Tier 4, Force Field, is a skill that I'm not fond of. Slowing your enemies is not good. Killing them outright is a lot better than slowing them down with a Force Field. I would love to be proven wrong, but this skill seems trash. Tempered Arsenal is the mastery's aura. It solidifies my proposition that the mastery works well with Earth and Warfare mastery. This aura is also a jack of all trades, and it can go in a lot of different ways. Let's go on with the passive skills. I won't go into full detail and have a look at every single passive skill. All in all, you can boost your summon's effectiveness by giving it more activations, damage or health. Go for retaliation damage, improve your metal management, and also improve your elemental damage. This says everything that you can do with a mastery. You can go for melee fighter with insane armor values. You can try to make a pure pet build that focuses on summons. I'm afraid there is not enough support for that yet. You would need an autonomous pet that roams around and attacks enemies automatically. This works as a tank, and the contraptions of Forge Mastery act as a bonus. I'm sure we will get some summons that can actually walk around and clap monsters for you. Forge Mastery also offers some opportunities for elemental builds. A hybrid of a caster trap summons build might work, but sounds weird to me. I will get to work and look for some overpowered synergy. The theory crafting has started for me. Unfortunately, I'm tied up with real life stuff and I don't have much time for Titan Quest 2. There will be builds coming with Forge Mastery, but that will take some time. Craft some stuff and bring that to max level. In the meantime, what do you think of Forge Mastery? Is it what you expected? Or even more? Maybe even less? Tell me in the comments. There's also a big damage mechanic video that goes into extreme detail that I'm working on. So we can look forward to the next developments in Titan Quest 2. Have a good one, friends, and I would be happy to see you subscribe to this channel if you haven't. I am a die-hard Titan Quest fan and I will produce the best content that my modest abilities allow. See you on the next video.